Hi friends, Thia the Bard here. We here at Real One of Gaming are hoping to start some vlogs, and I had an idea, so I figured I'd kick us off. I know that the holidays can be really stressful for some of us. I've been having a lot of hardships with it myself, a lot of anxiety over how am I going to be able to spend enough money to get the people that I love things that I think they deserve and that I want to give them versus my actual budget. And not only that, but it seems like there's a lot of really negative, terrible things happening in the world right now, and not just here in the United States, but throughout the world. And while it's important that we continue to acknowledge those things, educate ourselves about those things, that we also take care of ourselves, which I've been forgetting to do a lot lately, and it's been affecting me a lot. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and how I finally kind of broke through for the first time in almost 3 weeks yesterday. And how it was through nostalgia. And I know, some of you were like, okay, we don't really want that. I hate all the reboots that are happening. I don't know why they're happening. Why? But hear me out for a minute. Just a minute. Nostalgia is a great thing sometimes. For example, for the first time, yesterday morning, I woke up not having an anxiety attack. And I decided to kind of roll with it and just put on some old Christmas music, the kind that I listened to when I was a kid. Started wrapping the few gifts that I do have for people in my Star Wars themed Christmas paper, which wouldn't be happening if Rogue One hadn't come out, and just let myself enjoy it. I let myself talk to some friends that I haven't had the time to talk to. I made that time, and I made that time for me and for them, and to remember things that made us happy. And then we went to go see Rogue One, my housemates and I. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Can't go too much into it. But I was struck by how happy I was throughout the day, and especially then, walking into that theater and having that excitement again, and sitting there laughing through previews for things like Power Rangers, and remembering watching Power Rangers when I was a kid, and the three of us kind of sitting there and like whispering about who our favorite Power Rangers had been. P.S. Yellow Ranger for the win. Go Trini! And being like, what year is it that we're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean and Power Rangers while we're sitting here waiting for the new Star Wars movie to start? But it made me so happy. And I started thinking about what a gift that was, and how sometimes a lot of the cynicism and the anxiety and the overall feeling of suckage that's happening in the world right now is kind of taking that away. Meanwhile, there's all these great things happening. We're getting all these reboots of superhero shows on the CW, who are really introducing some people to these characters and these stories for the first time, and that's amazing. That's such a great gift, you guys. You know, we're getting Sherlock Holmes in 2 different interpretations for folks who've never heard of it before. They may never read a book, but they know who Sherlock Holmes is now. And in some ways, he's inspiring them. And that's fantastic. And it's something that we should be applauding and celebrating. And I'm lucky. I grew up with a lot of sci-fi and with being allowed to read a lot of things that I wanted to read and I wanted to experience. And yeah, I got teased for it because the rest of my family, while being into it, wasn't always into it to the level that I was. But it made me happy. And there are all of these new things which are bringing people into a fandom and bringing them into the family that comes with fandom that they may not have had. They may not have gotten that gateway if not for these reboots and these reinterpretations of things. I'm super excited for the new Star Trek. And the casting for it, that we're getting such an amazing, strong actress for it, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's all really neat, and it's helping me to not worry so much about money during the holidays, and how am I going to sit there and face my family, and how am I not going to talk about the political things that are upsetting me or worrying me. And more so to be able to, while still being aware of that for myself and sharing them to the mediums that I know that I can, to be able to enjoy some of what life has to offer for me right now, and what hopefully you understand it has to offer for you. And in this season of gift giving, I just really wanted to point out what a gift that can be, and to give myself some gifts that are almost kind of challenges to try to think about throughout the next year, and to share those with you too. I would really like to give myself and to give you the gift of a challenge of guiding someone through your fandom. I know that for a lot of us, it's been more about being a guardian of the fandom. You know, we've been there earlier than other people, whether we were reading Harry Potter before it became movies, or, you know, if you were reading Sherlock Holmes or Dune, or watching Star Wars when it first came out, watching Star Trek when it first came out, you know, or experiencing these things earlier than other folks. That is a great amount of gift and knowledge and source material that new people don't have. And we have an opportunity to share that without being jerks about it. You know, like, you could sit there and be talking to somebody about who their favorite character is in these new Star Trek reboot movies. And even if you haven't seen them, you can be like, yeah, you know, Chekhov was one of my favorite characters. Or, yeah, I always really liked Uhura. Did you know that the actress who originally was going to be playing her in the TV show almost stopped? But instead, after talking to Martin Luther King Jr. and talking about how important it was to have a woman of color with that rank and importance on the bridge, she stayed. And now we get to have these movies where Uhura is doing so much more. And that's so important, and it's something that can bridge the gap. And even if then they never want to watch the original show or read the original book, or they don't know what the Strand magazine is, but they love Sherlock or Elementary, that's fine. You still have source material that you can talk about it with. And you can still sort of guide them through it and bring them into the fandom in a nurturing and helpful way, because I know that for me, these fandoms have been places where I have found friendship and family and security that I would not have found other places. So maybe we could try to be more guides and take kind of a step back. Let people enjoy their fandom, because it is also theirs, at their own pace. And that's okay. We can take a breath, and we can all just enjoy the parts of it that we enjoy together. And we can have discussion without it turning into dissonance. Because there's enough dissonance in the world. We don't need more dissonance. We need more working together and building each other up. And in these fandoms, we have that gift right now. We have these opportunities to help each other. And that is so special. So I hope that you give yourself the gift of being able to challenge yourself to be more of a guardian. Or not more of a guardian, but to be more of a guide and to be less of a guardian. And that's something that I've struggled with and that I'm going to continue to try to push myself towards being, to take that step back, to take that breath, and to be more like, okay, well, what is it that you like? Because I might learn something more about myself that I didn't know. And I have, by talking to teenagers and young people coming into Sherlock fandom or the Lord of the Rings fandom. It's been great. So I hope that you find that too, and I hope that I continue to find that. I hope that you give yourself time to recharge. There's been a lot happening, and a lot of it has been not so great, and there's a lot of negativity happening around us, and then we're all struggling in various states of bad economies throughout the globe. It's rough everywhere, guys, and we're all in this together, but you need to take time for yourself. Like I was saying, it's important to stay knowledgeable about what's happening and to fact check and to make sure that what you're telling other people is correct and to do your best to learn about the world around you. But you've still got to work your job, and you've still got to go to school, and you've got to make yourself dinner and do all of these things and all of these projects. And it's a lot. It's a lot for you to be taking on. So I want you to take some time to recharge yourself. I want you to take some time to sit down and enjoy things that you enjoy, whether it's a good meal or a good book or an episode of something, a game. Please, please take that time to give yourself a little bit of a gift of just breathing and enjoying and recharging, because as important as it is for us to be working towards bettering ourselves and bettering this world, you're not going to be able to do that if you have nothing left. Burning out is not the best option, and I'm speaking from experience because I'm very close to being there, and I needed that experience last night of recharging and reminding myself to take a step back and to just enjoy a movie and to enjoy a brownie sundae and to talk about fandom and to be present in that moment and not just worrying about what's going to happen at work the next day. When am I going to be able to get so-and-so their Christmas gift? Like, we need to take these moments for ourselves. So please, I hope you give yourself that. And I hope finally that you give yourself the gift to enjoy what you enjoy. People are gonna say things about your fandoms, and I know it because, like, I'll go to talk to somebody about something at work. Like, we wear these blue glow sticks so that we can be found, since I work in a public garden. And I was talking about how it made me feel like a blue lantern. You know, I'm there to protect people and to help boost our security and to be hopeful and to be helpful and to just kind of a happy face for others. And they had no idea what I was talking about, and I could see it in their eyes, but they were still listening. However, then I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, that's stupid. We don't need to talk about this. And they thankfully let me continue and let me explain then what the Blue Lantern Corps was. And we had a really nice moment where my coworker learned something more, and I got to share something that I enjoyed, and I got to revel in it, which was nice because, like I said, my job has been a little bit more stressful. Just got a promotion, and it's a very crazy time at work right now. So that anxiety has been building, and not only for me, but for my coworkers as well. And for a couple minutes, we got to sit down and talk about something that we wouldn't normally have talked about. So I hope that you get to take that challenge of enjoying something that you enjoy, sharing it, loving it, reveling in it, because that's important. It's a part of who you are. So please give yourself that gift. Enjoy the things that you enjoy. Share it. Write about it. Talk about it. Just do it. That's great. And I hope that you challenge yourself to do something a little bit different coming up. I know that I am. We're going to be having an entirely different RPG game, which I'll be participating in, called When Shadows Rise here at Real Women of Gaming. And also, it plays into nostalgia. Look at this. We're coming back full circle. Huh, isn't that great? Because it vaguely kind of reminds me of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I loved. That was my gateway into Joss Whedon shows. So not even Buffy, but Angel and Firefly and this kind of humor and a lot of very different characters. But it is. So I'm really looking forward to the second Saturdays of the month, because now we are going to be doing this new RPG. And it's scary for me because it's new, and because I'm not as familiar with the book and with the rules, and I'm trying my best to learn it all. But again, to go back to the other one, I'm going to have to remember to take some time to just enjoy the game while I'm doing it, because it's going to be fun while being a challenge. So I hope that you get to do those things, that you get to guide people and share what you love, take time for yourself, and to also challenge yourself. These are gifts that you can give yourself, not just during this holiday season, but throughout the year. And I hope you get to do that. Please take care of yourself. Some of us aren't going home to people that are always the nicest. Some of us don't know how to express things that we love or that we care about or that are making us uncomfortable or upset. So I hope that you know that we're here for you at Real Women of Gaming, that we care, that we're really grateful for those of you who have been sticking with us, who have found us this past year, and who are going to hopefully continue to be with us. And I hope that you find family and friends and people that care about the things that you care about and to boost you. I hope that you feel love, because there's so much of it out there. So I hope you all get to take a breath, get to do some things that you enjoy. Happy holidays. All will be well. And always keep sparkling. Love, Thia the Bard. Bye, guys. I love you. Have fun. Happy holidays. Go like things.